Welcome to the Vault Excel. Thank you for joining me. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hope you all are well. It's a glorious day here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Amen. Bright and sunny. Had a quick shower outside, and now the sun is out. Thank you for joining me. Two-part live. Taylor Casey, her family is offering a $10,000 reward for any information to her disappearance. And the second broadcast will be pertaining to a woman in Texas who, how can I say this, received a venereal disease, herpes, by a Houston pastor. We will chop that information up. It is an older case that has garnered new attention now to the news, and I will bring you that said information. Let's see what's happening in Chicago. Thank you so much for joining me. Fox 32 is the source.
A $10,000 cash reward is being offered for the search for Taylor Casey. The Chicago trans advocate was first reported missing in the Bahamas on June 20th. Her family says she was attending a yoga retreat. Bahamian police have not issued an update on their search since July 9th. Casey's phone was found days after her disappearance under 50 feet of water. Her family is asking that the FBI and Illinois elected officials help in the search to find Taylor and bring her home.
Thank you so much. Fox 32 is the source. Let's get a little bit of information more pertaining to this $10,000 reward. Hello, everyone. Miss Skylar, thank you for joining me on this Saturday. Beautiful day here in Tennessee. Too pretty to be inside. Lord have mercy. Taylor Casey, who was a black trans woman, was reported missing June 19th and was last seen at the Sivananda Ashram Yoga Retreat in Paradise Island, Nassau. The family is pressing for the FBI to join the search. And now you see she has been identified as a transgendered person. The family of Taylor Casey, a Chicago woman who disappeared while at a yoga retreat in the Bahamas, is now offering a $10,000 reward for information on her disappearance. They announced the reward on social media Tuesday, saying the funds were offered by an anonymous donor. Amen. Casey, who was a black trans woman, was reported missing June 19th and was last seen at the Sivananda Ashram Yoga Retreat in Paradise Island, Nassau, Bahamas. This month, her friends and family gathered on her 42nd birthday to celebrate her and ask that more attention be paid to the case by U.S. and Bahamian authorities. Colette Seymour, Casey's mother, choked up and cried at the microphone as supporters wearing shirts reading hashtag Find Taylor Casey and showing a photo of Casey stood behind her. Seymour claimed authorities in the Bahamas weren't taking her daughter's case seriously and were acting nonchalant about her disappearance. Casey's friend, Emily Williams, said the Royal Bahamas police force has come up with nothing after using scent dogs and divers in the search. The only movement has come from finding Casey's phone because her niece tracked it, she said. Seymour said the yoga ashram Casey was visiting has not put up missing persons posters or allowed her to talk to the woman who told her of Casey's disappearance. The speakers at the news conference urged local, state, and federal officials to pressure the Bahamian authorities and the U.S. State Department to let the FBI take part in the search. Casey has been involved in the Lighthouse Church of Chicago, a predominantly black and LGBTQ plus church in Lincoln Park. Pastor Marcus Payne II said she also advocated for homeless LGBTQ plus youth and was deeply involved in queer activism. Casey's case highlights an issue long known in the communities of color and LGBTQ plus communities. Cases of missing black trans women often fall through the cracks, rarely attracting the attention and resources of other cases. In Chicago, most slayings of transgender women go unsolved. The police department solved 14% of murders of transgendered women between 2010 and 2021, compared with the national average of 50%. Very interesting. 14% of murders solved of transgender women from 2010 to 21 compared with the national average of 50%. Wow. Interesting. So she's now been identified as a trans person. If you had not known this before, family has offered up a reward for $10,000 to information to her disappearance. An anonymous donor donated the money. Who is this person that donated the money? Thank you so kindly, whoever you are. But as you see, the stats are out. 14% from 2010 to 21. Transgender murders solved versus 50% on the national average of, I guess, women crimes, homicides. Very interesting. She celebrated a birthday, 42, and she's still missing. And also, I need to say that another Caucasian male went missing from the same Sibaranda ashram retreat several years back. There has been no new information pertaining to the disappearance of Mr. Bell. It's a very dicey situation. I'm about 2 weeks behind on that information to bring you. News Nation did a piece on that. And before I jump off this Taylor Casey subject to get to my main subject, I'm going to go in here and try to pull that information up as well. Thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you so much for your time. Happy Saturday, everybody. Let's see here. One moment, please. Thank you for your patience. NBC News is the source of this information.
Following that story of an American woman who went missing from a yoga retreat in the Bahamas last month. Tonight, NBC News is the first U.S. outlet to report that another American went missing from that same retreat over a decade ago. 52-year-old Wesley Bell disappeared from there back in 2013 after he wandered off to go snorkeling, according to someone who was on the retreat with him. It appears there's no evidence of foul play in Bell's case, but police have not commented so far on this matter. Drawing parallels to this year's June disappearance of Taylor Casey. I want to bring out NBC Out's Matt Levitas, who broke the story for us and joining me now. This is fascinating, intriguing, a lot of questions, it seems, and not a lot of answers. Let's talk about this discovery of Wesley Bell a decade ago and his disappearance. Is there any connection between his disappearance and the one we learned about in June?
So right now, police have not returned our request for comment. I spoke with Wesley's father, Don, earlier in the week, who said that there was a massive search for his son, but they were not successful. They did not find his body. He believed that his son drowned. I also spoke with a woman who was with Wesley on that retreat back in 2013. She said that he went snorkeling the day before he disappeared. They found his clothes and his hat on the beach the next day. As of right now, we do not have any reason to believe that these cases are connected, except for the fact that both of these people went missing while they were on this yoga retreat.
So then there's Taylor Casey, and Taylor's family did actually not reveal that she was a trans woman initially when she went missing, because they were afraid it would distract from
the investigation. Where are we on this investigation as to what happened to her? And have we heard anything else from the family?
Right. So when her family initially started speaking with the media, they did not disclose that she was transgender, which raises a ton of questions as to whether or not she could have been targeted for her gender identity.
Right.
Now, I spoke with her mom, who said that she didn't want the media to know because she thought that the media might actually disparage her daughter for her gender identity, or that they wouldn't take the case as seriously. Where that case stands today, police found Taylor's phone in the ocean several weeks ago. More recently, they told us that they were not able to recover any sort of information on that phone. But with this new information that someone went missing 10 years at the exact same yoga retreat, we have more questions than we do answers.
Certainly. Matt Levitas, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching.
NBC News. Wesley Bell, Caucasian male, went missing from the same ashram retreat in 2013. January 2013. He was scuba diving, and then he decided to go snorkeling. Allegedly, he was trying to get some equipment to go snorkeling. You now hear that his hat and shirt or something was left on the beach to make it appear an assumption that he was on the beach. What happened? Then somebody said that he left a book on a bench near his room. Don't know exactly the location of the bench to his room. This is all baffling information. Are they connected? I do not know. Did someone target Taylor because they assumed she was a man or knew that she was a man? And a lot of people, were disappointed that the mother did not tell the truth about her daughter, because your child is missing. You want to be forthright, factual in your information. And to leave that out, it didn't do a disservice to her. It did a disservice to her, in my opinion, because now you're assuming the worst. The worst had already happened. She went missing. So you not disclosing that she is biologically a male, to me, made it worse. Because now you're giving people something to gossip about and talk about, when you could have just came out and said she is a transgender person missing. People are going to talk either way, because that's just what people do. They assume things, they speculate. Does not mean it's the truth, does not mean it's facts. But you want to be factual because you have a person missing. You don't want to hide anything. The one thing I want people to always remember is that when you zoom in on the video of her tent, you will see a pink case, looks like an iPhone case, lying on the floor. So I was curious about that. I caught that a few weeks ago. It's never been mentioned in any commentary that I've heard on the news or YouTube. But I saw that, and I've talked about it a few times in my live streams. Did she normally take her phone out of her case? Because her phone was found in the ocean. So I found it interesting when they zoomed in. I caught that one day. I said, oh my goodness, that looks like a phone case in the floor. And when you watch this NBC clip, you will see that our phone case is on the floor. So, did she normally take her phone out? I know the reasons I take mine out, because sometimes I use it for audio during the live streams. And it's easier for me to navigate, the volume buttons. But most people who are not using it for secondary purposes, they have no reason, to take the phone out of the case, unless they're having problems with the battery or something like that. So we have to ask, why was her phone out of the case? Did she normally take it out? So her friend, Ms. Williams, maybe you could tell people if she normally walked around without her phone in the case, because I think that would be very pertinent information. Because let's say this is foul play, they need to run prints on that phone case. And I'm assuming her mother has kept the phone case. I would run prints. I'd give it to the FBI to run for fingerprints. Because if indeed her disappearance is foul play, somebody may have taken the phone out of the phone case. $10,000 reward. If you have any pertinent information, contact the FBI. I don't say contact them down in the Bahamas, because I don't know what they're doing down there. Wesley Bell, where is he? Is his disappearance in any relevance to this case? His relative believes that he drowned. He may have drowned. But snorkeling, I didn't think that you went in deep water to snorkel. So help me out. Curious. Maybe they do. I don't know. I don't swim. 2 cases of Americans, same retreat, missing, 11 years apart. Is there a connection? It's very baffling information. Wesley was a Caucasian male. She's a black female, but biological male. Is this foul play? Taylor Casey's disappearance. What happened to Wesley Bell? Snorkeling, or did he meet with foul play at the ashram? Frankly, as I said before, it's not a place I would go visit. Even if I like yoga, I don't think I would care to go anywhere where I've got to travel up and down a beach a long way. If in case I wanted to see the sights and see something else, I just wouldn't be interested in doing all that extra walking up and down the beach, especially if I wanted to go out for the evening, go to dinner or something, see something else while I'm on the island. But as someone said, well, if you're there to do yoga, you're not going to want to see anything else. Well, that's your opinion. You don't know what a person might want to do when they're traveling. I mean, that's the whole point. You're going away. It's an island, has lots of things to do, I'm assuming, as far as sightseeing and, other resorts are nearby. You might want to check it out. Can't say what a person would or would not do. What I find interesting is what I've said before pertaining to this story. The lady who called Hannah, who called Miss Colette to tell her that her child was missing, you have yet to speak to her and you have yet to speak publicly. And the fact that they don't have any posters up of this woman missing is baffling to me. And they probably didn't put any posters up when Mr. Bell went missing. Checkmate. And the fact it took you all days before you notified your own patrons that she was missing. You went to Facebook first. Took you 7 days to do that. 5 days to do that. Then 7 days to notify the people right there at the ashram that she was missing. So frankly, you're telling the world you don't care about Taylor and you don't even care about the people there who were visiting. I think a person will want to know that a patron is missing. They're there as well. Why not say, hey, we have a lady who came here, she's missing. And Ms. Hannah, you're something else with yourself. You mean to tell me these people have forced you not to speak about what happened to this lady or what you last saw or noticed with her? I'd like to know the name of the lady who's sitting next to Taylor in that video that has been circulated on YouTube when she's at one of the little sessions and they're singing and chanting. The white lady with the dark hair, I'd like to know her name. Who was she? Who was she? And what does she know and what is she saying? I'd really like to hear from her. The lady who sat beside Taylor up on the stage was trying to hold a little book. Who was she? Because Taylor acted very strange around her for some strange reason. Don't ask me what the hell was going on up there on that stage because I haven't a clue. But Taylor's behavior was very bizarre. Flinching and making all type of weird hand gestures. I just didn't know what the hell was going on. So that's what needs to be dissected. Who is that lady? Who is Hannah? Where is Hannah? Is Hannah still there on the island working? Is she a full-time staff member? Or does she come in part of the year? Who is Hannah? And why haven't you spoken? And why do you all not have any posters of this woman, Taylor Casey, posted up to show that she's missing? Do you even talk about her to your patrons? Do you even talk to your patrons about safety? Because you should. You most definitely should. That's the latest, everybody, pertaining to Taylor Casey. Now, the story of the hour. Amen. Texas is hot, is it not? It's boiling right now. But this story, it's an older story, but it's been revisited due to this $2.45 million settlement that has been rendered to this lady who has filed a civil grievance against a pastor, a black pastor, that he infected her with herpes. Wow. Fox 26 Houston is the source. Thank you for joining me. The video that was up of her talking has been taken down for some reason. And even when you go into Google search, some things that come up pertaining to the story is a 404 not found. I don't know if maybe she was not supposed to talk about the story and went ahead and talked about it anyway, and he's, I don't know, claiming defamation. I don't know, but it's something strange about that. But the video I shared the other day, I went in to check for it today, and it was removed. So very interesting. Fox 26 Houston is the source.
Prominent pastor Ralph West to pay a woman he allegedly gave herpes $2.4 million. Abigail Nye has more.
Back in 2017, I know that you say West reached out to you on Facebook. Let's start there. What happened?
Yeah, back in 2017, I had received several notifications from him. Some of them were like pokes, things of that nature. I eventually responded, and then, from there, he introduced himself. I didn't know of him. I didn't know of anything that he didn't know of the ministry. And then that's when he told me, he knew he'd been watching me for a while and that he was a fan of mine, and we kind of just conversed and went from there.
Yeah, so just kind of an online back and forth relationship. When did it turn?
Before we get into that, so he had been watching her. Was he dating anyone or married? Had children at the time of making contact to her? I believe she was saying he was poking at her. What does that mean exactly? What was he saying in the text messages? I like when people get descriptive. What was he saying exactly? How did he come off in the text messages? What did he say exactly? How you doing? You look cute. You're fine. Sexual in nature. What did he say, ma'am? And what do you do for him to be a fan of yours? Because you say you didn't know him, never heard of him. So how was he a fan of yours? What is it that you did at that time in 2017 for this pastor to be a fan of you? Interesting.
From that into a physical relationship.
So we conversed via social media, I'll say about a month. And then within that month's time, he wanted to exchange and talk more telecommunication, phone,
Yeah.
So from just the social media, we ended up having telephone conversations. And then from there, we started dating, and we dated about 2 years.
And so while y'all were talking, you said you didn't know he was a pastor or anything, but obviously during that time, you figured that out and you ended up attending a church service. Was the fact that he was a man of God, was that part of what drew you to him? Are you strong in your faith?
So I am strong in my faith. My family I came from a very Christian background. I did not know he was a pastor prior to him, reaching out
and everything. Yeah.
So we learned about each other over the course of time. I'm used to being in ministry, and so I won't say, that drew me to him because he, my background is ministry, so I'm not, it was like what it is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like it almost gives you like a sense of trust in someone.
Yeah.
When you have similar backgrounds and you believe in the same things.
Correct.
So I don't know. She's having difficulty trying to get the information out. Just some stammering here, but that's just my assertion listening to her speak. Did they video chat before they exchanged telephone numbers? I'm curious because some people will talk to people in Messenger or WhatsApp or IG, and they'll never video chat, which is very bizarre to me because I meet a lot of people, and it's even with men, women, people just like to text. It's the most bizarre behavior I have ever seen in my life at 53. People who just cannot seem to pick up a phone and call, or they want to text just endlessly. Some people are texters. I'm not. I don't see the point to keep texting somebody. You want to talk windedly and text. And then people will say when they meet you on apps, oh, let's exchange numbers. Then when you exchange numbers, they still want to continue texting. So my thing is, why leave one app to go to another phone to text? That makes no sense to me. People do it, though. I'm not saying they did, but I'm just saying in general, I meet people who do this all the time. Text. And then, God forbid, you give them your telephone number, and then they still want to text. Can't pick up the phone, won't answer. know a lot of people like this. You give them your number, vice versa, and they will not. Do you hear me? They will not pick up a damn phone for nothing. As they say, well, if it's an emergency, I'll pick up and blah, blah, blah. No, you have just got accustomed to the modern technology that's been afforded to you. But before this, you were picking up the phone to answer the phone because that's all we had 20, 30 years ago was a damn landline. Nobody was texting. There was no texting. Somebody called your phone, you answered. Whether you were a talker or not, you answered the damn phone. You talked. Just saying, just throwing that out there. Because I'm curious if they video chatted when they started talking on Messenger. Just curious.
And so around that time, like in 2017, is that when you became, the relationship turned sexual? You all started having intercourse?
I would say somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't recall the dates exactly, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a real relationship. You guys were
we
together.
actually dated, and then from there, yes.
Yeah. And so we do actually have a soundbite from his deposition that he gave. He said that he never recalled having a conversation with you about STIs or any diseases at all. We'll go ahead and go to that soundbite.
Do you recall whether you told her during the spring of 2017 that you did not have any sexually transmitted diseases?
I don't recall telling her that.
Do you recall her asking you about that?
No.
Okay, so he says that y'all never had the conversation about STIs. Did you have the conversation about STIs?
Yes, we had the conversation. He said he didn't recall. And during that deposition, he almost didn't recall anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yes,
Yeah.
we definitely, we exchanged morals, we exchanged beliefs, and then we had those conversations.
Yeah, just like any couple does.
Correct.
And I will say you are right about the deposition. I think every question asked, nearly every question asked, he said he didn't recall.
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
So take me to the point where you realized you had contracted an STI.
Okay. So, one thing about me, I kind of know my body, and if something within my health is out of the norm, I could pretty pinpoint that.
Yeah.
So after one of our, course of events, I started to notice that something just was not right.
And how long had y'all been like sexually active at this point? Like, had it been a while?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this was someone who you really felt like you trusted.
Yeah, it was just him, and
Yeah.
I was in a relationship with him. Yeah.
Yeah. Not even a second thought about it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so go on. So you
Yeah, so I
started
noticed, something wasn't right
Can't talk.
within a matter of days. And so I immediately made an appointment. And while waiting for my appointment, I even informed him, something is just not right,
Yeah.
Um,
Just like you would with a boyfriend.
Yeah. And so after going to the doctor, they were able to determine by blood work that I was recently exposed and that I had the antibodies in my system.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like for you? I mean, what was your reaction?
I was blank. I was scared because I didn't know exactly what all come with that. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how it would affect my life. And then I just felt very, ashamed, kinda. It was just very uneasy. During that time, I was into modeling, and so just I wasn't a person that had self-esteem issues at all.
Yeah.
So during that little period of time, that did affect me mentally, emotionally, and so yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of that. I think that's the end of that. Weird interview. Weird interview. Fox 26 is the source. What do you all have to say about that? He reached out to her on social media. They talked a while, then exchanged numbers. Then they started dating. They went to church together. They shared conversations, beliefs, morals. They had sex. And then within a few days, I guess, after her feeling whatever symptoms she got, which she didn't explain what symptoms she had, she went to the doctor, got blood work. Blood work came back positive. She had the antibodies in her system. And during the deposition, he basically couldn't answer any of the questions. He didn't recall anything said by her to him. And the lady verified that here during this interview. She has the transcripts. Well, naturally, he would say that if he knew. He's not going to admit in a deposition, yeah, I said this, and this to her. Well, she probably kept all the text messages to verify that they did have the conversations. That's how there was a guilty verdict by a court of law. Let's go into the belly of the beast pertaining to this information. Excuse me. Wow. They say you can't make this up. All right, everybody. I think I'll be bringing you two sources of information, two other sources pertaining to this. ChristianPost.com is the source. So remember, this case is going back several years. We're now in 2024. They started dating in 2017. Reverend Ralph West II, the son of Reverend Ralph West, founder and senior pastor of the Church Without Walls in Houston, Texas, who most recently led the Eldridge campus of his father's megachurch, has been ordered to pay $2.45 million to a woman he knowingly infected with herpes after a jury in Harris County found him liable. This content was recorded October 16, 2023. After a 3-day trial, the jury unanimously found West II liable after only 6 hours of deliberation for battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and fraudulent concealment of his herpes infection from his unidentified victim, whom he met on Facebook and then had unprotected sex with in 2018, according to KPRC. The $2.45 million verdict included $1.45 million in compensatory damages and $1 million in exemplary punitive damages, according to Fox 26. The amount is said to be the largest award ever made for a case like this in Texas. We truly hope this verdict sends a strong message to people throughout Texas and the United States who are infected with sexually transmitted diseases that they must disclose having the disease before engaging in sexual intercourse with any others. Sean Murphy, the plaintiff's attorney and a partner in the law firm Slovak, Barron, Impey, Murphy, and Pinckney, LLP, said in a statement. It's also important for those who have suffered harm after being infected due to another's negligent or intentional conduct to know they have legal remedy. It was unclear Monday whether or not Reverend Ralph West II, who has worked for more than 20 years as a preacher, remained on staff at the church. The Church Without Walls staff online page is currently not displaying any results. And this is almost a year ago when this article was written. And officials did not immediately respond to calls for comment from the Christian Post. 4 days ago, Reverend Ralph West II was presented in a promotional video for the mega church's men's fellowship. In his statement to Fox 26, Murphy noted that the verdict was not only the largest award ever made in Texas to a victim of genital herpes infection in Texas, but it was also larger than any award ever made in California or Washington. I suspect there are many people who don't know that in every state in the U.S., it is unlawful for a person who knows they have a sexually transmitted disease to communicate the disease to another person through sexual contact or even have sexual contact with another person unless they have informed their partner that they are infected with a sexually transmitted disease, Murphy explained. In fact, it is considered fraud to knowingly endanger another person in this way, which exposes the person who transmits the STD to potential civil liability for substantial monetary damages. The verdict against West comes nearly 3 years after his father cut ties with the Southern Baptist Convention over a statement from the denomination's council of seminary presidents denouncing critical race theory and intersectionality as incompatible with their beliefs. Well, you know what that is. West, who ministers to more than 24,000 families in 3 locations each week, made the announcement in an opt published in the Baptist Standard, calling on the seminary presidents to repent for bringing division and confusion to the body of Christ with their statement. The statement on critical race theory and intersectionality has soiled that good faith. I cannot maintain my affiliation any longer, and therefore am withdrawing from Southwestern Seminary, nor will I associate with the SBC any longer, West said. What the SBC seminary presidents have done has brought division and confusion to the body of Christ. They must repent, seek reconciliation with those who can properly inform them of the wrong they have done. They must ask the Lord to open their hearts to the truth, to hear the truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ and how Jesus' reign truly should impact our society. Now, this commentary is winded. When his father, the statements from his father to the Council of Seminary Presidents. Guess I'll have to look this up. Let me check something out here. Because I don't even know what they're talking about. Critical race theory. Never heard of it. So I always like to do a little exploration because somebody probably will ask, well, what does it mean? I don't know. I wonder why they threw that in this article. 1 second, everybody. I'm going to type this in and see what in the world they're blabbering about. So I'm sure it has nothing to do with this case, but just in case you are curious, because I'm a bit curious myself. Thank you for joining me. It says critical race theory is an interdisciplinary academic field focused on the relationships between social conceptions of race and ethnicity, social and political laws, and media. Let's see. It's not really telling me anything. It has nothing to do with what this subject matter is about. It's a way of understanding how American racism has shaped public policy, or a division or a divisive discourse that pits people of color against white people, ? Liberals and conservatives are in sharp disagreement. Okay. I'm trying to understand what it is. Critical race theory. It says about 40 years old. The core idea is that race is a social construct and that racism is not merely the product of individual bias or prejudice, but also something embedded in legal systems and policies. Okay. It says today those same patterns of discrimination live on through facially race-blind policies like single-family zoning that prevents the building of affordable housing in advantage majority white neighborhoods and thus stymies racial desegregation efforts. Feel free to do your own research because it doesn't really have anything to do with what this is. Yes, Skylar, I'm glad you said that because that's true. You take the risk of catching anything without protection. You know, it's one thing for just a woman to take birth control, IUD. That's not going to keep you from getting a disease. The man has to wear a condom. That's just it. And she didn't know him. She had just met him. So, they talk, I don't know, they talked on the phone for about a month or so, and then they met and went out with each other. So my thing is, it's the risk you take. And you take a risk even being in a relationship with somebody for a long time and decide to stop using a condom, or you're dating or you're married. And you say, well, we're married. We don't have to use condoms. We're married. Well, if a person is out there sleeping around with different people, there's the risk. And I think a lot of people just don't think their partner will cheat on them, whether they've been dating 1 month, 5 months, 5 years, 10 years. That's the risk you take, not using protection. It's called blind trust. I talk about blind trust all the time on this network. Everybody you deal with is blind trust. The butcher, the baker, the plumber, your employer, your coworker, your spouse, your lover, your friend, your associates, the person at the Starbucks handing you coffee, the person that makes your hamburger. It is all blind trust. You're trusting someone to do something for you. Okay? Somebody's coming to repair the roof, the driveway, the cable, the Wi-Fi. It's blind trust. You're trusting them to do right by you. You're trusting them to do the job accurately. You're trusting someone to be factual, truthful with you. It's called blind trust. It is what it is. You take a chance every time you deal with a person, whether you know them, don't know them. $2.45 million is what was rendered by the courts for him to pay her. Wow, a lot of money. Now, let's say he was some regular guy. Old Bob down the street. Would the award have been that much money? I wondered if it's because his family had the mega church or still has the mega church. That's why the jury awarded that amount of money. Because if he was just a regular guy that worked at McDonald's or Burger King, you see where I'm going, would the jury have awarded her that substantial amount of money? Probably not. The first thing that's going to be said, well, he only makes $10 an hour. How's he going to pay her $2.45 million for giving her a disease? He couldn't. Probably barely living. Just saying. I do believe, my mind is telling me possibly that is part of the reason why they gave such a high judgment, is because he comes from a family of wealth, and they have mega churches in the area. A mega church with campuses. He was preaching at one of the campuses. So I wonder, how does he feel walking around now? Everyone knows that he has the disease. She has the disease, and whoever she deals with, they now know. Friends, family, strangers know she has it, and now everybody knows in the church and the community in Houston and the surrounding areas that he has it. So I'm also wondering, was he faithful to her at the time when they were dating? Was she the only one? Because what you have to always ask yourself, when people reach out to people on Facebook and things like that, you have to ask yourself what type of person they are. Who are they? Because it's an easy method now to just scroll through, look at the pictures of somebody, become fascinated, obsessed, whatever, and start messaging him or her. Hey, how you doing? How's your day? I saw you on this picture or that, whatever. You don't even have to be genuine. Because a lot of people who are not genuine, as I tell people, the method won't matter. Because I hear this all the time when people say, oh, I wouldn't talk to somebody on social media. You all act like these people are from Mars or Jupiter. It's baffling the way people think. You wouldn't talk to somebody on social media. So where do you think this person comes from? An alternate universe? You think there's an alternate universe where the people are sitting on some spaceship? It's an online spaceship, and every few days the spaceship lands on Earth and lets the people walk around to message people. Come on now. They're regular people. And that's what people need to understand. They're regular people. If they weren't on the internet soliciting people for whatever reason, they would find another way to do it. What is it that you don't understand about that? If a man is out hunting women, wanting to find women to have sex with, hook up with, he can do it anywhere. It's just an easier method. The app, Facebook, IG, YouTube, whatever the app is, TikTok. Just get in the DM. How you doing? You look good, smell good. What's up? Want to hook up? Bam. It's not rocket science. So guess what? He probably does that when he's not on the internet. Ding, ding, ding. Or she. He sees what he likes at the grocery store, the Starbucks, Walmart. Hey, how you doing? Can I buy that for you? And then they exchange conversation phone numbers. Voila, magic. It's not that hard. And as I've told people, a dog is a dog. A rogue is a rogue. So if you're a rogue on the internet, you are a rogue, period. Checkmate. Got to get out of that mindset. Oh, they're on the internet, they're bad people. Everybody's on the internet doing something, okay? Either right or wrong. Take your pick. A lot of people scroll on the internet all day long. Facebook, stay on there watching what people are doing and saying. Now, it don't mean that they'll message strangers. Hey, how you doing? You look cute, nice looking dress you had on. But they scroll, they look, they comment. But some people, this is their way of life. Being on the internet 24/7. They're strolling. They're looking for whatever it is they're trying to get into. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's mode and method is not the same. Some people look for, as entertainment, boredom, or they're trying to check to see what their friends, family are doing. I never go through a Facebook just, random, just going through stuff. All the time I go in there is if I'm looking for something particular, if I'm trying to put something together. But other than that, just all day, every day, going through Facebook, people's profiles and stuff, no. I don't want to. I get enough of social media dealing with YouTube. This takes up most of my time. What I'm doing right now. Looking up information, Googling information about the storyline, and then bringing the information to the platform to put in a broadcast. That's enough of my time. And then I have to keep abreast in case there's an update. So that's time consuming. So I don't really have time to scroll through TikTok videos and scroll through Facebook posts and just random pages of people. I don't want to do that because it takes up a lot of time. But some people are into that. That's their livelihood, to scroll social media all damn day to see what people are into and doing. Some are doing it for nefarious reasons, to harm people. So what I tell people is the same thing I'm saying now. If they're a dog, they're a dog. It won't matter if it's Facebook, IG. If they're out to hurt people, they're going to do it one way or the other. It won't matter about an app. So what we need to ask ourselves about this man, did he have another woman? Was he dating anybody? How long was he infected? Did he know he had it? Obviously he did, because she said he did in phone conversations, text messages, or whatever. So I'll take her word for it. A jury found her favorable. They believed her. So they awarded her the $2.45 million. Now, what we have to ask ourselves again, is he dating anyone? Who's he with now? Because whoever he's with, that means she now knows he has the disease. And so if she has slept with him unprotected, then she has it. So the cycle continues. So is he married now? Does he have children? Was he dating somebody at the time he was seeing this young lady? Did he expect this to go this far? Probably not. Probably didn't think he would get sued. When he was talking to her privately, he didn't think she was keeping these notes and keeping these text messages, recording phone calls, perhaps. He probably had no idea it was going to go this far. He probably didn't think he was going to get put on blast and everybody was going to find out he was the one that gave her the disease. So as I said, there's repercussions for sleeping around with people unprotected. And a lot of men go asymptom. They don't have symptoms. So that's one reason why a lot of men pass diseases, because they don't even know they have it, some of them. Especially, diseases like trichomonas, those type of infections. They'll have it and won't even have a symptom. But as soon as he has sex with a woman unprotected, days later, she has the symptoms. And he may not have had any symptoms. Women tend to get the symptoms for some reason. Why, I don't know. It's a very interesting phenomenon. There you have it. But that's the said information. $2.45 million has been awarded. This is a case from years ago. They met in 2017, dated briefly. Don't know how long they actually dated. But she started feeling unwell or found symptoms. She didn't describe it in that video interview, but she knows who she slept with, and they traced everything back to her and to him. And that's the final say. Two-part live. Taylor Casey, $10,000 reward offered by her family for anybody that has any information. And once again, a Mr. Wesley Bell also went missing from the ashram in 2013. Feel free to check out that said information. I've posted all this content that you're hearing in this live stream to my community page. If you are curious and you need verification for the source, it is on my community page, and also go back to the beginning of the live to get the source of the said information. Prayers to Miss Taylor's family, hoping that they get answers from the Bahamian authorities and also the United States government if they are helping in any way to help find Taylor. Once again, prayers to Mr. Bell's family because he has never been seen or heard from again. He also was at the ashram in 2013. He went missing. Allegedly, he was going snorkeling. He has never been seen again. And this case here out of Texas, I believe his name is Mr. West. He comes from a family of church people who have father has a church. He was also being a pastor at one of the campuses. He met this young lady. They coincided, and he gave her venereal disease, which we all know you can't get rid of herpes. And she sued. She won, and that's the said information. I'm not going to hold you all, but I want to thank you all for joining this network, tuning in. I always hit that bell when you come into the Playhouse. I appreciate it. Please look forward to more updates on my community posts and pages. I've put up some questions pertaining to Miss Massey. I brought you new information pertaining to her case yesterday. New information that she is the one who broke out the car window of her car. I brought that information to you. Feel free to go back and watch that live stream from yesterday. Mother made calls pertaining to her safety. She made calls. 5 calls were made days leading up to her murder by Mr. Grayson. Family calling on reform from the Illinois Sheriff Department and the state. So please check out that content. And I will be uploading some more shorts tonight and possibly tomorrow pertaining to breaking news and updates. Like, share, subscribe. Be sure to comment below this video. Thank you so very much. You all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. You've been listening to the Vault XL. Thank you.